It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Do we look bad?
Bad.
Do we look bad? Huh? How about
No.
Dun dun dun! Subaru WRX Ciro.
Hello.
You bring
I'm
us
back.
great things today. You bring us
Yeah.
great things. What a beautiful machine.
I'm very excited this morning. This is the brand new Subaru WRX, and it is a looker.
It really
Look
is.
at that. Look at the size of the bonnet scoop. That's very important.
I suppose when we look at the history of this incredible car, no one has gotten that from track to road quite like Subaru, and this even more so. The styling is beautiful.
Or from rally car to road. I mean,
Yeah.
this just feels like nothing else on the road. And it's always a bit worrying for me was when cars mature and the next generation comes out, you think maybe they'll sort of lose their character, but the good news is that this car just hasn't. So let's start off with some stats. Would you mind popping the bonnet for me there?
Don't mind at all.
And let's chat about this engine. It's the heart of the car. Subaru engines are always very interesting. And of course, it is a boxer, and of course, it is turbocharged. A Subaru engine without a turbocharger is like a braai without meat. It just doesn't. It doesn't
And this
work.
is, this is a massive engine space.
Yeah, so 2-litre motor, boxer 4, so that means it's really, really flat. So that means all the weight that the engine brings to the car, or adds to the car rather, is really, really low down in the car. That keeps the center of gravity low, and it improves the handling. 197 kilowatts, 350 Newton meters, and then the stat that everybody cares about, 0 to 106 seconds if you buy the manual, 0 to 106.3 if you buy the new CVT gearbox. Now there's the big news for this car. So CVT, continuously variable transmission, basically in the middle of the car. Now you can still buy a 6-speed manual, or you can opt for this. It's like an auto box, but it also kind of isn't. And I know purists out there are going, oh, they put a CVT box in a WRX. What are they thinking? Relax, it's fine. It's got 8 digital ratios, which at the press of the button really do a very good job of making you feel like you've got a manual gearbox, which you control with the flappy pedals.
To get the most out of a car that
Yeah.
I would imagine very often isn't driven anywhere near its limits, because there is so much going on in
Honestly, I cannot believe how this car handles. The grip, it sticks like Marmite on your favorite carpet. You're just never going to unstick this car. And the way it corners, it is fantastic. Honestly, the Subaru all-wheel drive system is still living up to that reputation.
And I love it. Lots of visibility as well. The styling, like we say, it's a bit of a shift for them. Normally you can see someone is driving a Subaru. It's got the classic elements of a Subaru, but it really has shown a transition for the company. It's something different.
Well, I think you're spot on. It's subtle, but it still looks like it knows what it's doing.
Exactly.
Like it's still quick.
You haven't taken the exhaust off here.
No, these aren't actually the exhaust. If you're the kind of person who carries ventilation shafting around, or regular kids things, because the thing is, this is a sports car, but it's still a family sedan that you can fit all sorts of things into. You know, that's about the size of a set of golf clubs. So, the thing is, it's still got a really decent boot. Wait, behave.
There we go.
And then at the bottom of your boot, 4 exhaust pipes. Those are very important.
Because you have to have 4 exhaust pipes.
Yes.
I'm sorry. It just
4
wouldn't be right without 4.
Critical.
And the funny thing is, you talk about this being a family car. I've only seen one on the road so far, and it was being driven by a woman, which is a good sign. That this has that kind of classic styling that is open right across the board. Who is going to be driving one of these? Who wants to buy this car?
Okay, so there's only, as far as I can see, a couple of natural rivals to this car. One of them is actually the Audi S3 sedan, which has just come out. That's 60,000 Rand more than this. This comes in at 469,000 Rand. So the reality is that there are other sedans out there which are cheaper. There are other sports cars out there which might offer a slightly quicker drive, for instance, or quicker 0 to 100 time. But for my money, a combination of true sports car and family sedan, it doesn't get better than the WRX.
So we know you love it. It does have the perfect balance. What don't you like about this little beast?
You know what? I'm going to sound... Hang on.
Put your hoodie on.
Yeah.
Put your hoodie on.
It could be louder. It could be like a bass.
He's actually wearing a white vest underneath the
I came to work in
a
hoodie, like a proper Subaru owner. The thing is, I think Subaru has a deal with aftermarket exhaust specialists to keep them in business, because everyone's just going to take this to some, aftermarket guy that haven't tuned up. Exactly.
But such is your right as a Subaru owner. Ciro, this is beautiful. Where can we continue the conversation with you online?
Cool. Catch up with me at Overdrive TV or at Ciro DS.
Dude, what a lovely machine. Thank you so much. I look forward to what
Absolute
it's going to
pleasure.
bring us next week. Right now, though, let's get into our Express news.